mom and dad are dying, how do I prepare myself for that? What would
That's really hard. And we actually went through that recently with my father-in-law. I think, well, I know actually, we're all going to die. We are born and we're going to die. Those are some certainties. I think bringing up that conversation when families are healthy and mom and dad are pretty healthy, I think is really the time to start talking about it. But let's say we have it for whatever reason. I think that there's conversations that you're going to have the opportunity to have that you might not otherwise. Maybe you do have some time and you can talk about things, and not be afraid to say to someone who is obviously in the dying phase. And a lot of times they do know that they are, that their body's changing. They have some signs and symptoms that they're aware of. Just to be able to have those conversations. You don't have to necessarily get into the details of it, but what it means, like what are you most proud of in your life? And I think it's just a nice time for reflection and to talk about relationships. We don't have to, dad, you're dying of this, and do you have a last dying wish? You can get there certainly, but you don't have to feel forced to do that. What do you wish you had done? Is there something maybe we can do now? Just having those conversations with someone, but just not being afraid to talk about it at that time.
right?
We all know once we reach a certain age, we're getting closer to death, that, you have more life behind you than in front of you. I'm starting to see that now, and so I'm coming to the point where I'm actually talking about it more, just talking about my life, and not necessarily, dying, but just life, and just, if you take that fear off the table when people are healthy and you just start talking about that, I think it makes it easier when you are facing that, when you're facing
Got a few suggestions of things for families to do when they realize that mom
Correct.
and dad are dying. We basically gather important documents that maybe their parents or loved one only knows where they are, or they're in a safe. Create an advance directive, write a will, appoint a power of attorney, choose beneficiaries, consider your final arrangements and share those with your family. And then something that I've forgotten about that I was reminded is to ensure digital assets are taken care of. That's things like your social media, your investment accounts, your photos, your email accounts, all of those things.
Yeah, good point. And there are professionals that can assist, whether it be hospice to come in and assist during that process, which it can be a beautiful time that family can focus on being the loved one and not the caregiver. So hospice is a wonderful service that adds on, we're in the home care can work side by side with hospice. And then also, financial planning. They do have experts out there to assist families with protecting their assets that their parents have worked, long and hard for their whole life, and it probably saved, so it's, get the experts involved.
And that's a good point you brought out. Some people don't understand that you can use many services. You're not just stuck to one service. So for my family, that's what we did. We used home care company, and we used hospice that came in, and it just made it a lot easier for everyone.